You're crushing your deadlines, exceeding expectations, and everyone thinks you've got it all together. Meanwhile, your brain is screaming at 3 a.m. about a typo in an email you sent 3 weeks ago. Here's what nobody tells you: 18% of adults have an anxiety disorder, but a massive subset functions so well on the surface that even their closest friends have no idea they're drowning internally. They're not just anxious, they're high achieving, over delivering, and burning out in silence. If you've ever been called successful but stressed, this might be you. Today, I'm breaking down high functioning anxiety, the condition where you appear to be thriving but feel like you're barely surviving. This isn't occasional nervousness. This is chronic internal chaos masked by external competence. The perfectionist who can't sleep, the overachiever who can't relax, the responsible one who's secretly unraveling. We're covering the 6 core symptoms, why this type of anxiety is so dangerous, and what you can actually do before burnout forces your hand. If you want more honest conversations about mental health, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Let's figure out, if this is you, what high-functioning anxiety actually is. High-functioning anxiety isn't a clinical diagnosis. It's a lived experience. You meet every deadline, exceed every expectation, and maintain a polished exterior while your internal world is absolute chaos. From the outside, you're the reliable one, the colleague who never drops the ball. From the inside, you're replaying conversations from 3 days ago, catastrophizing worst-case scenarios, and running mental simulations of everything that could go wrong. Your brain won't turn off. The cruelest part? Society rewards this behavior. Your anxiety-driven productivity gets you promotions and praise, which reinforces the cycle, destroying you internally. The 6 core symptoms. Symptom 1. Perfectionism that paralyzes. You don't just want to do well, you need to be flawless. Anything less feels like catastrophic failure. You spend 3 hours editing a single email. Symptom 2. Chronic overthinking. Your mind is a disaster prediction machine. You analyze every interaction, every decision, every possible outcome until you're mentally exhausted but still can't stop. Symptom 3. Inability to relax. Even when physically resting, your brain is working. Vacations feel stressful. Downtime feels like wasted time. You feel guilty for not being productive every moment. Symptom 4. People pleasing to the extreme. You say yes when you mean no. You overcommit to avoid disappointing anyone. You sacrifice your needs to maintain everyone else's approval. Symptom 5. Physical symptoms you ignore. Tension headaches, stomach issues, insomnia, jaw clenching. Your body is screaming something's wrong, but you push through anyway. Symptom 6. Need for control. Uncertainty feels unbearable. You micromanage situations, create backup plans for your backup plans, and spiral when anything deviates from your mental script. Do 3 or more describe you? That's high-functioning anxiety. Why this is so dangerous? Here's the brutal truth. High-functioning anxiety is a ticking time bomb. Because you're still meeting external expectations, the problem gets ignored by you and everyone around you. You tell yourself, I'm fine, I'm still getting things done. But functioning isn't thriving. Your nervous system is chronically activated. Cortisol floods your body daily. Sleep quality deteriorates. Immune function drops. Relationships suffer because you're physically present but mentally elsewhere. Research shows people with high-functioning anxiety have significantly elevated rates of burnout, depression, and physical health problems, despite appearing successful. You're not building a sustainable life. You're running a sprint at marathon pace and eventually your body forces you to stop. The perfectionism loop that keeps you trapped. Your anxiety tells you that if you're not perfect, something terrible will happen. So you work harder, prepare more, check everything twice. When things go well, you don't feel relief. You feel temporary reprieve before the next test. When things go wrong, even minor mistakes, your anxiety says, "See, you weren't perfect enough. Try hard the next time." The bar gets higher, the pressure intensifies, the cycle accelerates. Perfectionism isn't the solution to anxiety, it's the fuel. Studies show perfectionism is strongly correlated with anxiety disorders, depression, and suicidal ideation. It's not a harmless personality trait. It's a mental health crisis dressed up as ambition. Which symptom hit closest to home for you? Drop a comment and our community will give you some encouragement. What actually helps? Here's what doesn't work. Trying to eliminate anxiety completely. That just creates more pressure. Instead, focus on 3 shifts. Shift 1. Separate your worth from your output. You are not your achievements. Your value isn't determined by productivity, performance, or perfection. This is the hardest belief to rewire, but it's the most essential. Shift 2. Practice strategic imperfection. Intentionally do something poorly. Send an email with a typo. Submit work that's good enough instead of perfect. Your world won't collapse. This recalibrates your brain's threat assessment. Shift 3. Build in non-negotiable rest. Rest isn't earned, it's required. Schedule downtime like you schedule meetings. Treat it as mandatory maintenance, not optional luxury. Professional support makes a massive difference. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, teaches you to challenge the distorted thinking patterns fueling anxiety. You don't have to do this alone. High-functioning anxiety is the silent epidemic among high achievers. You look successful while feeling like an imposter. You appear calm while drowning in internal chaos. The hardest part? Admitting you need help when everyone thinks you're fine. Here's what you need to hear. Functioning isn't the same as flourishing. Surviving isn't thriving. You don't need to wait until you hit rock bottom to deserve support. If you recognize yourself in this video, take one small step today. Talk to someone you trust. Schedule a meetup. Practice 1 moment of imperfection. Your worth isn't earned through relentless achievement. It's inherent. You deserve rest. You deserve help. You deserve peace, even if your anxiety tells you otherwise.
If this made you see something familiar in a completely new way, hit subscribe.
There's a tiny bit more where this came from.
Once you start seeing, you can't unsee.
See you in the next video.